Hello, my name's Josh Sullivan and I'm a designer on BPM Bullets Per Minute. BPM is a roguelike rhythm first-person shooter game where all of your actions and the actions of your enemies are tied to the beat of our epic rock opera soundtrack. Everything you do in BPM is tied to the beat of the music. This includes shooting and reloading your weapon. See how satisfying that sounds? Your goal is to reach the end of our procedurally generated dungeons, collecting different weapons, abilities, and items each time you play. These weapons and abilities can radically alter the way you play, making each playthrough unique. As the enemies are also tied to the beat of the music, fighting them can become an epic rhythm battle, making you, the player, feel like you're taking part in the soundtrack itself through your actions.
Wasn't too much, to talk about.
Clearing each room will reward you with loot. The better you handled clearing the room, the better the reward. Each floor has either an armory or a library, where you can buy cool new weapons or find exciting, game-changing abilities that make slaying enemies to the beat even more satisfying. You can also find shops to purchase useful items for your run. Unfortunately, you cannot pet the bird. Maybe next time though. Each floor has its own boss and attacks in a unique way that you must learn to exploit if you want to succeed. Finishing off a boss is a dramatic.
I dropped State Farm because of this site. The rate that they gave me for my new camera, $187. But my new rate, just $39 for...
I'm Saul Davison.
And I'm Hannah Lee, and we are Humble Grove.
No Longer Home is a story game about graduating university and anticipating what comes next, while struggling with borders, self-identity, and longing for domesticity.
In No Longer Home, you play as non-binary protagonists Bones Out, who are based off Cell and myself. You'll explore an intimate flat filled with everyday objects, delve into Boned Out's thoughts and insights, and mold your interpretation of the characters through branching, multiple-choice dialogue.
The events in this game are based off our own experiences, and many of the characters and stories are based off people we know in real life. At the time, we were feeling disillusioned with education, disoriented and not sure what to do next. Bo and Al try to figure out their place in the world.
Making this project, we wanted to celebrate the magic of everyday domestic mentality, like having barbecues, playing video games, and staying up late just talking in bed.
Hannah and I started work on No Longer Home 6 years ago, after we graduated university. We met on the same course, and during the last year, we moved in together.
After graduation, I unfortunately had to go back to Japan. How do you say goodbye to a place? We started making No Longer Home as a way to stay in touch, but it rapidly grew as we realized how much we had to talk about and all the feelings we had to process. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. No Longer Home will be launching later this year, so please don't forget to wishlist on Steam.
Man, Origami 2 is looking so fantastic. I need some of that stealth action in my life.
Yep, and Fire Girl, that looks pretty unique too. Up next, we have some magic and swordplay popping off in the next segment with an update from a bona fide classic and a new entry in the hybrid puzzle and strategy realm. Guard your loot and upgrade your boots, because we're about to slap you in the face with a spike ball mace.
Bars.
Wait, before you scroll away, you need to hear this.
A lot of these are going to be Steam games, indie games. Steam's full of them.
Wait, before you scroll away, you need to hear this. Republicans across the country
Greetings, friends. Senior Games Designer Lee Grant here to talk about Bard.
Subscribe, comment in chat.
Stylish and flamboyant, the Bard uses magic and music to defeat their enemies and cure their allies. This twisting of song and magic created a versatile gameplay opportunity we felt was compelling enough to make this our next class.
Whether dazzling your enemies with dancing lights, weaving in and out of the fray, or conducting a frenzied symphony of combat, the Bard never shies away from pulling out their instruments or stringing funerals together. No matter what is needed, a Bard is always ready to take center stage and perform.
Live stream as well.
And when the day is done, their enemies defeated and their allies safe, the Bard becomes a source of entertaining ballads and jingles that recount their tales of triumph. With that, we have reached the last crescendo. But fret not, for we are not at the finale just yet. There is more to this ballad that will be revealed over the next few months, so please, stay tuned.
Hey everyone, I'm Miro, and I hope from Striker Studio, a small Slovakian-based company that is working on a game called Loot River. Loot River is essentially an action roguelike which is about shifting dungeons around coming to Xbox and PC. And I'm going to show you a new gameplay video which shows you the controls of the game, a procedural generation used in the game, shows you some areas, speed of combat, and perhaps a new thing or two that you didn't see in the trailer.
Okay, let's actually take it a bit slower. Let's start. I'll show you some controls. You can move your hero around with the left stick, responding to your pressure, and you can also dash and dodge on controller with the A button. And you attack with your right bumper. That's your standard attack. It now changes the combos. It used to be just like one attack before, but now it's like one, three, fluid, changing to one another for a better feel of what. You can also do a heavy attack. Or what you could do is charge your heavy attack for special damage. Right? And there are many different weapons in Loot River, and each is used in different scenarios, and it has different properties, and you can do different stuff with it. Let's go to the first combat area now, the Sunken Village. It's the first area where you already need to navigate to these platforms that they solve for, and you do it by standing on the platform and dragging to the right, upwards, downwards, or in any direction. And let's approach this enemy now, and learn to our platform, one by one, if you will. All we should do instead is like charge right in, and do some heavy attack over the rest. You should not get the idea. unless you have large weapons. So instead we could always isolate them into parts to manage, or we could keep them completely and go for the big guy here. That is very dangerous. So what I'm going to do instead is charge my attack and slam platform to right protection. You see, levels of Luther are procedures, but they are handcrafted at the same time. So what we do is design lots of smaller areas for connections and then let the computer handle them and look for logical relations between them. So even from small pool of objects, we will already get some interesting variations in the levels. Enemies evolve for combat on the platforms. Counted platforms prevent the defeat and really bad. Others might use long-range weapons, jump platforms, or cause devastating damage. However, most of them have a weakness. Parrying enemies really well. You will see many interesting places, obtain legendary weapons.
Give this a shit. What's taking so long? Who needed this?
Blue River really has me intrigued. I really like what they're doing with combat and Tetris-like platforming elements. So cool.
Yeah, and Demon Mirror has really great sound.
You're just saying that because you worked on that game.
Yeah.
So what do we got coming up next?
Up next, we have some dark and sinister titles, starting with a physical release trailer of a gorgeous and deadly first-person action runner. Then we're jumping into a spoof on a beloved stealth classic, and ending it with an exclusive trailer from our friends at Raw Fury.
Let's go.
Zul Adi Oscaride. Zul Adi Oscaride. Or Grotesco. Vecu isgrena mes rapido axinis euc vecu centurio oxistin.
Oh no! An evil fog is corrupting every living creature! There is one that is new. Who is this mighty hero? A slime? How can an adorable little slime fight against this? This? Or that? Wait, where did you get that sword? Is that a meteor shower? How? Ice breath? When did you get that? Now there are two of them? Alright. Slimes can be heroes. Grab a friend and save the world from oozing monsters and formidable bosses. Discover the weapons and create your own magical abilities to express the way you want to adventure in Slime Heroes! Ooh.
I'm so excited we could finally announce PS4 and PS5.
There's a lot of platforms.
Oh yeah, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, Steam, Epic Game Store.
Basically, you'll be able to play Demon Turf anywhere.
Yep. But what is Demon Turf exactly? Well, Lucy, take it away.
Sure. Silver goals to take on the Demonkin. Pretty much owns this place. Alright. And apparently he's been challenging her for a while. Her best friend Mindy is also...
Introducing the new Resist Light. Maximum movement and tapered chin. Designed for weightless.
This moveset in Demon Turf has a lot of depth.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about combining moves to feel badass.
One of my favorite examples is this Tower Climb. In different ways, it skips so many parts of it.
Things really heat up though once you unlock turret moves.
Oh yeah, yanking enemies around, holding down the highways,
soaring the skies.
Combine it all, you get to see runs like these from our incredible speedrunning community.
Still blows my mind every time.
Beginner or pro, we hope to see you pull off some of these moves from Demon Turf releases sometime later this year.
for a crime you didn't commit!
sewer was infested with assassin rats. Felt like I was a huge chunk of cheese. Who's there? Who's there? Another cat! Look! Landmine! Wait! It's kill or be killed.
Make sure you like and comment.
Hey, this is Matt Developer Server Still. I'm here to talk about some cool ways players have playing the demo I released. So this level, you're typically supposed to kick that door open to deal with the guys in the hallway. But players found a way to use the arm cannon to carve a hole left of the door like you saw, which gets you into this hallway. It's a little bit safer and there's some nice weapons to find in there. A player did this cool thing where they throw their weapon down the hallway and then fight through the hallway. By the time you're at the end of the hallway, you're low on ammo or you're out of ammo, and you have a loaded weapon ready to go. When I first saw that. Players have been doing cool stuff with manipulating AI, so you saw I just got racked kicking down that door. But if I use the audio perception AI, kick a wall, lure them over, you set up ambushes. That's really useful in harder difficulties where the hardest difficulty is one-shot, so that's been a really useful technique. There's one stunt in the game that I didn't actually include in the tutorial, and that's the ability to jump and kick off walls. And on my Discord, players have been sharing really crazy footage where in rooms like this with really high ceiling, they're jumping and kicking off enemies to get loads of airtime they can use to get those stylish kills. In the arcade mode, you get points for stylish kills, and getting that airtime and killing enemies upside down really rack up your score. I didn't expect players would figure out more advanced stunts like this, but there's a lot of really cool footage of players doing stuff like that. I'm really thrilled with
how players figure that out. And one last clip, you can see some content that wasn't featured in the demo. A lot of players asked for enemy outlines to help discern them, so you can see about it here. And that's for Double Shotgun, which you see I'm rocking right now. I hope you enjoyed this preview of Severed Steel. It's slated for PC release late summer of this year. And if you like what you saw, definitely give it a wishlist on Steam. If you are a console player, there are also PlayStation 4 and Xbox One releases planned for shortly after PC. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Raw Fury, for that special exclusive footage. Up next, we have an exclusive reveal for one of the most bloodiest sprite-based action platformers I have ever seen. We will check in on a dark and beautiful pixel art RPG, help clean up a forensic nightmare, and then we are heading to an update from a mystical masterpiece from one of our Best of the Mix 2020 award winners. Grab your hazmat suit, Alex.
Oh, why?
Because we're about to go in and get grimy.
Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Jacek Głowacki and I'm the head of company development at Road Distance. We're established by Bluebird Team and we've just celebrated our 12th birthday. Our goal right now is to become a fully realized AA studio.
My name is Krzysztof Ziemba. I'm a writer and game designer at Road Distance. We make games with unique stories and visual styles, excellent soundtracks and captivating gameplay. We are known for our Vampire the Masquerade titles and Serial Cleaner. Our next game is its sequel, Serial Cleaners, a stealth-action crime story set in the 90s NYC.
My name is Kimai, and I lead a team of 30 amazing game developers currently working on 3 different projects. Serial Cleaners is our biggest one so far, and is set to launch later this year. We've got a good vibe, and we're expanding, so come join us on our adventure to the 90s.
Hello, we are Monaco, and we're a small, very small studio from Cologne in Germany. And what you see before you is our very first game, a cinematic platformer called White Shadows.
So White Shadows is basically one thing. It drops you off in this huge, weird, vertical world that is called the White City. Even though it's really, really dark, and in this White City, there are rats and wolves that are in charge, and then there's the pigs and sheep who do all the work, and then there's the birds who are, or at least so they say, to blame for the deadly pandemic.
And then there's you, little raven girl, trying to change all that. So basically, this game is not really a platformer, it's more of a trip.
It kind of drops you off in this really weird world, and if you imagine inside in Tim Burton having a really mean, weird little baby born in 1984, then you have this game.
It's black and white, it's dark, it has to do with a lot of stuff that is in our world today, and it's also really entertaining.
We, as the developers, think that it's really funny, but people who play it tell us that it's really, really dark, so you really judge that.
मुझे आपकी जरूरत है। अपने दिल की सुनो राजी, तुम्हें शक्ति मिल जाएगी। Nanowati, Yorukawano.
Shout out to Raji. Congrats on winning Best of Linux 2020. Such an awesome studio out of India, you know. Also, Bats is looking mad slick, if I don't say so myself. You know what I mean? But yeah, before we move on to the next segment, we want to say thanks to our broadcasting partners, Twitch, Steam, IGN, and of course, GameSpot. Thank you guys for all your help in hosting the stream.
Yep. And also, don't forget to check out the Guerrilla Collective event page on Steam to wishlist games, play the demos from this event, as well as from Folsom Direct, which is coming up next. We have a link on the Guerrilla Collective website, guerrillacollective.com.
Up next, we're going to connect with our friends at TinyBuild. We're doing gargantuan things with really creative indie developers. Let's creep around the corner and say hello to our neighbor devs working with TinyBuild to peep what they have cooking up. Word.
Hello, me time! This is my game, Despot Game! I will give you a group of puny humans, and you will lead them to the end of the dungeon. If you can get past my cute little robots, zombie wobbies, and flesh-eating cabbage cabbages. Despot Game is a roguelike auto-battler. That means that all the fighting happens automatically. It also means permadeath and randomly generated dungeons. In order to win, your humans will need weapons, or whatever you can find to use as a weapon. Combine different kinds of dumb items to create your own dumb army. Your army needs to be positioned, fed, and genetically modified. Just don't get too attached to your little humans. They'll be dropping like flies. Let me tell you a little secret. If you make it far enough in the dungeon, you'll get the chance to fight other players! You probably think I came up with in order to raise a perfect army of mutated humans capable of conquering the universe, right? Wrong. I simply enjoy watching pathetic humans hit each other with refrigerators. You're in Despot Game now! Config games has no responsibility to solve TS from keyboards or screens, or they're big expensive to take fast extended gaming sessions. Not recommended for use by children, pregnant women, or people who have loud conversations on their phones in public.
Make sure you subscribe,
This is Dustin, and this is Eric from Animal.
And we're the creators of Ramen.
Along with our extremely small team of passionate individuals, we're really excited to get this out to you.
Ramen's a food fighting arena game with a bunch of quirks and twists.
And today we're going to show you one of our favorite game modes, along with a new work in progress mode that we've been working on.
So let's start with the meatball mode.
Yeah, and meatball mode, it's all about putting the meat in the hole, the goal hole. You gotta jump in and take control.
Like, does that mean it sounds good? What does it mean?
Well, it's basically kind of like Katamari, where the objective is to jump into a giant meatball, take control of it, roll around, charge it up, and shoot it into various locations around the map. All while basically avoiding enemies and the onslaught of food that they throw at you. Next up, Bobo Ball.
Well, Bobo Ball is one of our newest work-in-progress game modes, but still a ton of fun. Players are now packing a Bobo Blast, shoot Bobo Balls at a giant Bobo Ball.
Work together with your taste buds to blast the giant Bobo Ball into the opposing team's goal. But look, kills don't count in this mode, so prioritize getting a giant ball immediately. But a few balls to the face never hurt anyone, so blast your foes to keep them from getting control of the ball.
Blast your toes?
Foes.
Oh, okay, Rose. Wait, what's this written down about meat chassis?
We wrote that?
Yeah, it says, say something about meat chassis.
Oh, yeah, the old bag of meat bones. You know, the players, the soup savers. Players can customize their character almost however they want within our high-fashion, highly polished configurator zone.
Alright, well, within this configurator zone thing, when it comes to fashion, you got covered with a trunk full of different culinary styles, vibes, and risks. Your soup slinger is yours to design and decorate. Honestly, the world is your oyster. Decorate your heart's content.
Oh, and don't forget your old pop pal. I think it's time to wrap it up here.
Yeah, good idea. Thanks for tuning in to watch our video and giving us the opportunity to talk your ears up about it. Pretty excited about it.
Oh, that being said, be sure to hop into our Discord so you can be part of the playtest and help us perfect the recipe of the ramen.
Yeah, we hope you get a chance to play. Really appreciate all the support y'all showing the course development. Really means a lot and motivates us. Bye. Thanks for stopping by.
Meet the creepy AI-driven Mr. Peterson. This character has one mission, keeping you from discovering his secrets. Hello, and welcome to Hello Neighbor 2. In this game, you'll be playing as a local journalist named Quentin, who is suspicious of his creepy neighbor, Mr. Peterson. For those new to the Hello Neighbor franchise, this is Raven Brooks, the sort of town where everyone keeps to themselves and goes about their lives. Normally, you would too, except a bunch of people have gone missing. And there's just something strange about your neighbor, Mr. Peterson. Everyone is afraid of him. There have been rumors of children going to his house and never being heard from again. Some people say he likes to lock people up in his basement. But no one has any proof. So people just try to avoid Mr. Peterson, his odd house, and ignore the strange sounds coming from his basement at night. You have a feeling that Mr. Peterson is behind all of the neighborhood disappearances. But no one believes in your ideas and theories. And while you normally would break into someone's house, you're the only one who believes something is wrong and has the guts to uncover the truth. When you break into Mr. Peterson's house, you'll be going against an AI that is constantly evolving. Our goal for Hello Neighbor 2 is to provide unique player experiences. This is an experience that is driven by the community. Mr. Peterson's behavior is a combination of a neural network and algorithms that allows him to constantly learn from his experiences with everyone who plays our game. It begins with the collection of player activity. Mr. Peterson takes note of player behavior, whether or not most players are likely to hide in a closet, use a certain escape route, or certain objects. As time progresses and he learns, Mr. Peterson's behavior may change and surprise you. How Mr. Peterson plays in one encounter with you might be different from the next, all due to his encounters with the game's community as a whole. In this way, the community's experience with Mr. Peterson changes over time, allowing for an AI that is developed through community actions, replayability, and great stories of neighborhood shenanigans. But these new experiences go beyond Mr. Peterson. In Hello Neighbor 2, players can interact with all characters in Raven Brooks, and these characters share the same AI core, but behave differently and have their own stories for you to discover. So while you might think you're just playing the game, you're really contributing to the development and improvement of Mr. Peterson's AI. We hope this presentation of our AI in development gives you an idea of what to expect in Hello Neighbor 2. If you'd like to try an early access version of Hello Neighbor 2, you can wishlist the game on Steam and check out our alphas on the Microsoft Store. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the neighborhood.
Hello Neighbor was a good game.
Ahoy, sailors! Not this again. Trash Sailors! Pirate Guide. Every pirate knows that the real treasure is friendship. Just kidding. It's trash. I love trash. It's everything. Fuel, building materials, and weapons. Seriously, just stuff in as much trash as you can and litter. Just remember, this raft is your only home. Take good care of it, and if anyone dares set foot here, hit him with all you got. Too many greedy lovers want to get their hands on our marvelous, beautiful trash. Defend it to your last breath, and steer carefully. Oh, and don't forget to fix anything that breaks. Started those fucking son of a seagull! If your enemies get close, and the Goro ship's cannons aren't enough, try the newfangled trash technology. You have countless aces up your sleeve. Use anything you can get your hands on. They want to steal our trash? Let them try. We'll hit them with everything we got.
Shout out to Tiny Build. They are producing and publishing some of the most amazing titles coming out. Ramen is looking real fantastic.
Yep. And for our Gorilla Collective 2 finale, we're going to head out with an exclusive humbling conversation that we had with Innersloth, the team behind Among Us, and check in on some fun and upbeat games, as well as take a trip back to the arcade with some fun retro throwback games.
And before we finish everything up, we are also going to go to an exclusive interview with our friends at Limited Run Games. Let's rock.
Welcome back to the Gorilla Collective. We have Marcus Romander and Adriel Wallach from the Innersloth dev team. Super happy to have you guys hopping on the Gorilla Collective for an interview. Tell us about yourselves.
I'm Marcus, also known as Puffballs United. I'm one of the co-founders of Innersloth. I worked on a lot of art, sound design, game design, and miscellaneous other spots in the game, but no coding.
Hi, I am Adriel. I'm the lead programmer at Innersloth, which means I live in the code, I make a bunch of lists, I tell the other programmers what to do, and I fix bugs.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the team and go into what you have in store for the game. But first I want to ask you a couple of questions about the team and how you're moving forward. So first of all, for people who don't know, where did your studio name Innersloth come from, and who is repping the team?
So when we first formed our company, me and Forrest, we were trying to come up with a name, and we were kind of just stuck. So we went on a random name generation site and just like click through, and Inner Sloth just kind of felt. For me, it was like I have the motivation to make stuff, but like the inside of me is kind of lazy, kind of. It's hard to get motivated sometimes. So that the sloth really stuck to me there.
You know, some people think that success is overnight, but you have all been grinding to make things happen with such a small team. What have some of the challenges been during the growth and iterative development of the game been?
I would say, I mean, just in general, going from 3 people to we're at 8 now, I think, is such a different work environment completely. Like getting everyone on the same page is something that's we're still learning how to do. Meetings have to start happening. You can't just tell. I'm used to telling one person and then things go from there. And now I have to make sure to tell everyone, and I have to learn how to write design docs. I can't just have it in my head and tell people.
That's dope. And you've been like an integral part of the indie community with helping out early on, you know, with the Mega Booth, and then really orchestrating Train Jam and been involved in so many projects. How has it, like, I understand how you kind of joined the team. How has it been on the opposite end of, like, you know, communicating with Marcus and everybody on the team?
It's been fun. It's been fun to be sort of in that transition from the small team to what is quote unquote the larger team now. Not that 8 is huge or anything, but I was the 5th person, so I was like right at that tipping point from it being small enough where you could just tell one person one thing and then everybody knows everything, to now it's like we have to make sure we're tagging all the right people in our work channels and like getting information out. And yeah, I came on towards the end of last year through a mutual friend who was like, hey, Inner Sloth needs more programmers, you know, because at that point it was just Forrest as the programmer, and I was like, all right, I'm in. And then, yeah, rest is history. But it's been really fun getting to sort of grow the programming team as well and take at least some of the pressure off of Forrest to be the only person doing that kind of stuff, being able to do more output and get things out there faster.
So you've had, like, you know, notable celebrities. You've had AOC, just mad people streaming it, and now it's really ingrained into pop culture. What are some of the most surreal, defining moments that have been heartwarming or have left an impact on the team since its original release until now?
Just all of the, like, the fan art that comes in and all the, like, fan animations, like music videos, remixes, just so much amazing stuff. We have a channel in our Discord that we just post all this stuff, and it's just like empowering, gives us motivation to keep going.
You know, you've really been maintaining the life of the game with really interesting updates and drops. What can you share with everyone on Twitch watching during the Guerrilla Collective that is next for Among Us?
Yeah, we do have 15 players coming, which means we do need more colors because there's only 12 in the game. And so we're going to add 6 new colors. I don't know if that's been announced, but
I feel like we could say that we did at one point have a color named Barf that is not going to be released. So
what is that? Like, it's like a speckled yellow or something?
Like a greenish yellow.
Yeah, imagine mashed up peas, like mashed up peas that you would feed a baby.
Wow.
Or like the barf emoji, just that color.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I for one, am disappointed that we don't have Barf in the game, but...
Me too. I was a big champion for Barf.
Yeah. Bring back Barf.
So no Barf?
No Barf.
How do you come up with, like, because it seems interesting that you're just talking about, you know, having the Barf colors. How do you come up, you know, with these different designs and ideas?
The colors are super hard. We're trying to move away from having colors be the main identifier for each character. Cool. So we want to lean more into cosmetics and names. So, but we still want to make them, at least to begin with, make them as distinct as possible. So I have to like pull up all the colors we have and then think about like, look at the color wheel and go, okay, maybe we don't have anything in this little zone. I'll try something here. And I compare them together and it's like, this one does look really similar to blue, or like, I could see this one getting mixed up with purple or something. But eventually we're just gonna have to kind of move away from that and not worry about it as much.
It's awesome to have you guys. Thank you guys for, joining us for this. Is there anything that you want to tell the fans? Because there's going to be a lot of people probably watching this who want to know about something straight from the team.
I mean, just thank you. That's the one that's just always there. Thank you for playing. Thank you for liking the game.
Yeah, that's the same sentiment here. It's great. It's mind-boggling to be working on a game that this many people play and get like such an enjoyment out. Like I get texts from friends who are like, "Oh, my 12-year-old was playing with his friends and was bragging about knowing that his mom knows you," and I'm just like, "Oh."
That is awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. It's been amazing, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. King of the Hat is coming to Steam. King of the Hat is coming to the moment you've all been waiting for. Which means that you can wishlist the game. If you wishlist the game right now, you can win. You can win a washing machine.
Success.
And if you wishlist the game right now, you can win a sticker.
Boom.
Oh my god! Wow! Which is the game? You might be entered into a contest. You might be able to spin every wheel. Which is the game? Which is the game? Open up Steam, hit the button, do it for yourself. Do it to get back at your enemy. Hit the button and win! King of the Hat, which is the game right now? Have fun.
Crime is illegal.
Well, not anymore. Thanks to Whitewater Wipeout by Chuhai Labs.
Thanks to Whitewater Wipeout, I can finally commit the cool crime of surfing, featuring pure NAR style and conviction. What does that even mean?
It's a playdate game.
Yeah, Jeff? Yeah, I'm on set. I have no idea what the the script is. No, I'm not gonna hold.
I'm Mihoko. I play Whitewater Wipeout.
At King Wash Laundry, we pride ourselves on providing years of garment cleaning excellence. Our customers come for the top-of-the-line deluxe washing machines, but they stay for our professional service. Now pick up the clothes and load them into an empty machine. Wait a few minutes, then transfer to a dryer. While you're waiting, make sure to pick up discarded coffee cups and throw them in the trash. Thank you for choosing Arcade Mania! If you want to level up your takings and grow your arcade, just follow our simple 3-step plan. 1. Play your new game and set a killer high score. 2. Now watch as customers drop quarters trying to beat your score while you sit back and make fat profits. 3. Use your takings to buy a brand new cabinet from Arcade Mania. Just use your personal computer to surf the internet and you can order online. Now just wait for your new purchase to arrive and do it all again. Play, profit, purchase. Play, profit, purchase. Play, profit, pest control, purchase! With these steps, your arcade is guaranteed to grow and expand into a glorious arcade paradise full of our biggest hits. Good luck, and always choose Arcade Mania. Always use the brush for particularly stubborn waste matter. All that remains to be said is, welcome to King Wash Laundry.
I am here with Douglas Bogart from Limited Run Games. What is happening, Doug?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's so awesome that Limited Run, has reached its 5-year anniversary. Can you tell the people about Limited Run Games? If folks that aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, so Limited Run Games, we started the company with my co-founder Josh Fairhurst. We started in October 2015 as a response to his dev company, Mighty Rabbit Studios, having trouble staying in business. We were off a big project and we didn't have a whole lot of work to do, so we were like, how do we stay in business? And then his biggest thing was we had one game on Vita called Breach and Clear, and he was like, it'd be cool to at least preserve this game even if nobody wants it, so that way I have some proof that I did something and it's not all digital. So we did that, and we sold the game in October, and it sold out in 108 minutes, and kind of blossomed from there. Got contacted by Epic, Oddworld, WayForward, started really pulling in the partners, and we've done over, I think close to 700, 800 individual releases now.
That is super crazy, man. Like, what is like one of the highlights of your career in limited run games, or what you've done?
Yeah, there's a lot. So we had like a wish list of things we wanted to do originally, and we ended up doing all of those. But like, I'd probably say one of our biggest things is Scott Pilgrim, because that was like one of the founding pillars of what we wanted to do. And then for personally, like working with Suda on No More Heroes was a huge deal for me. Working with John Romero on Sigil, doing Command & Conquer with EA. We've just done a whole lot of cool stuff that I never thought we'd be able to. And I've talked to a lot of heroes I've always had. And it's like, I don't know, the Jay and Silent Bob game is a huge deal for me. Like, you know, without Kevin Smith, Josh and I would never have ended a friendship that we had briefly broken up when we were young. So,
you know, what I think is really interesting is just your idea of doing things in that, you know, in a limited quantity. Can you kind of talk about like how, like what kind of different packages that you guys put together?
Yeah, so when Limited Run started off, we were definitely very limited, and the reasoning for that was, one, it costs a lot of money and resources to do it, and we didn't want to be stuck with overstock because we can't afford to just sit on a product that takes years to sell out.
Yeah, for sure.
We started off with limited stuff, and as we got bigger, we decided with Switch, like, hey, we have no idea what the audience is here. Why don't we try open pre-orders? And that worked out really well. And then with the pandemic hitting, we were like, you know what, let's just do this for most of our stuff going forward, and I think the reception's been a lot better. So we're limited in like the amount of time basically now versus the amount of unit, which I think is a better approach because it gives people a chance to get it, and it's not so much that like, oh, I missed out. I mean, people still miss out, but now we work with places like Best Buy, Amazon, and GameStop, and some of our games are available at retail, which is another cool thing for our developers because, you know, as when you're younger, you're like, man, I wish one day my games could be on the store shelf, and now they can.
That's so cool.
And yeah, then we offer vinyl, we do collector's editions, we do press kits for companies, we do a whole lot of stuff now that's pretty amazing. We're always looking to expand. We're doing the retro stuff like we did for Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm really happy with the stuff we've been able to do. Pretty much any idea here, you know, if an employee or coworker has an idea, it's like, why don't we run with it and see what happens and just test it out? Because you know what, if you like it, maybe there's an audience for it.
You guys have an event coming up. Can you plug it real quick? I think everybody should watch it. Talk about your upcoming releases and stuff.
We're doing our own E3 presentation called LRG3. It's going to be on June 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern. And we got a whole bunch of cool games in the lineup that we're excited about. The show's being produced by one of the gentlemen from Mega 64 on his own. So it's got the same similar humor. And I don't know, we just watched actually the draft of the video, and it's really funny, and I'm kind of shocked actually that it came together so well.
That is so awesome. I hope everybody could check that out, you know. Where can we find you, more information about Limited Run Games and everything that you guys are doing?
Yeah, go to our website, limitedrungames.com. There's a mailing list option. Our Twitter, we update frequently at Limited Run Games. We have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/limitedrungames. Pretty much any website you go to, just add /Limited Run Games. You might find us. I think at one point we even had like a Tumblr account, so we were everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe a Pinterest account. I don't know.
Dope. Well, thank you so much, Doug. It's awesome to see you guys flourish. Happy 5th anniversary, and everybody go check out LRG3, right?
Yep. Thank you so much.
For sure. Talk to you later.
Later, man.
The Innersloth team was so humble, and they've had such a great journey. You know, congrats to them. Also, Limited Run Games coming up on their 6th year. They've been 5 years strong, working with indie developers to get their games out in a limited capacity in a physical kind of space, you know. So many great games and devs that have blessed the Guerrilla Collective this year. Shout out to them, and thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, and be sure to check out the Guerrilla Collective event page on Steam, where you can learn more about these games, buy the games that are available now, or add the games to your wish list for the games that have not been released yet. Wish lists help, so do it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
We also want to thank everybody who was involved to making this production possible. Wilmer Sound, of course. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
It's so great to be in this space. The mix team, of course, AV Society, Timmy, Code 32, Fully Illustrated, everybody that has contributed. Also, thanks once again to our sponsors and broadcasting partners for their support. GameSpot, Twitch, IGN, and Steam. You guys are awesome for hosting the stream. Also, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Good Shepherd, Humble Games, Tiny Build, PlayStation, Xbox, Kickstarter, Razer, Astro Gaming, our fellow devs and publishers, Two Awesome Studio, Akupara Games, All In Games, Goblin Studio, Graffiti Games, Head Up, Hype Train Digital, Neon Doctrine, Raw Fury, Thunderful, and Whitethorn Games. That wraps up the Guerrilla Collective 2. Such a fun time with developers worldwide and awesome partners. Thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate it.
Yes, and before we head out, we're going to show the Wholesome Direct trailer and come back with our friend, Jenny Wyndham.
Stay tuned.
Such a cozy and warm trailer. That was very nice.
It was really, really nice. Sweet. We have our friend Jenny Wyndham, aka Kim Chica, on the line to get started with the Wholesome Direct. Hey Jenny, how is it going?
Yes, thanks Justin and everyone at the Guerrilla Collective. Also congratulations to all of the devs who showcased. You all did wonderfully. I can't wait to play all of your games. And yeah, stick around. We have the Wholesome Direct coming up with new game announcements, exclusive footage, developer interviews, and it's just going to be a wonderfully cozy time. So hope you all enjoy it.
Thanks so much, Jenny, for joining us. Looking forward to checking out the show. That wraps up the Guerrilla Collective 2. I am your host, Justin Woodward, with
Alex Wilmer.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Guerrilla Collect, not Guerrilla Collective, and on all other social media platforms at Guerrilla Collective. You can check out the mix at Indie Exchange on Twitter and everywhere else at Media Indie Exchange. Stay tuned for Wholesome Direct. We will see you all soon. Peace. What is happening? I am here with one of the co-founders of Wholesome Games, Matthew Taylor. He and his brother started Wholesome Games, which sparked off Wholesome Direct. Can you tell everyone how Wholesome Games got started?
Well, it started out really simple. My brother James and I just were really excited about some upcoming games at the time. Like, I always go back to Ooblets and Mineko's Night Market as the two that I was really excited about, and it just kind of seemed like there was a little bit of momentum building for those kinds of games. And then Wholesome Games was just a Twitter account that curated that stuff, and then that grew into a Discord. And then last year, that all kind of culminated in Wholesome Direct, which is probably what most people know us for now.
That's dope. Wait, so the Discord, is that open to the developers and also the audience, or just the audience? I didn't even know there was a Discord. I should have known that.
Yeah, the Discord is like not the biggest Discord, not the smallest, but I really like it. I think we have a great community on there, and it's a really great mix of developers and fans. So I think you get people from, you know, every walk of the industry in there, and I think that's what makes it such a cool, welcoming space.
Yeah, for sure. So what year did you guys get started, and can you go a little bit more in depth into the origins of Wholesome Games?
Well, I think we got started in 2019, and like I said, it was just a Twitter account at first. I think James and his friend Jacob, they were in various Discords for these games like Ooblets, and you would see the same people crop up, and like everybody, whether they knew it or not, was kind of attracted to this similar type of game. And so I think that led very quickly to people thinking, oh, maybe there's something to this. Like, if we put this together, we'll see how many people come out for it. And like a lot of things you do, like you just put it together and see if anyone shows up. And both developers and way more fans than I ever anticipated are excited for these kinds of games and excited for anyone to help find them and curate them.
I mean, yeah, I love these type of games, and it's cool that you are directly curating and working with these developers and just in general, you know. And also the grassroots approach is basically how we started the Guerrilla Collective in the mix. I'm a developer too, and I know you guys are developers. Can you talk a little bit about how you got started in game development?
Our game development journey started because my brother, every story starts with my brother apparently. But we like grew up making music together and doing all this stuff, and then he went to college for something completely unrelated to game development. But there was just there were a few programming classes, and he got excited about that and kind of had this renewed love for programming. And we said, well, maybe let's like make one game before you go to college, go to the real world, start your real job. And so we did that, and it took off just a little bit, just enough for us to feel encouraged, and then we never looked back. And now we're making Rolling Hills, which is by far our biggest game we've ever made. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone has their own story about how they got into game development. For us, it was just, let's try it. Maybe it's not as scary as it looks. And you just get just a little bit of encouragement, and when you really want to do something, all it takes is that little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Rolling Hills looks gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you so much.
It looks so dope. When I found, I didn't even know at first that you guys were working on a game, you know, let alone, you know, sometimes there's this like mysterious entity like behind these events. I was like, who is working on these events? And then, you know, the mutual friend, you know, Jenny Kimchika, I was like, she said, you know, she was one of the hosts at your last event. I was like, yeah, can I get in contact with these folks? I love what they're doing. So it's really awesome to be able to connect, you know, face to face, at least digitally now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we felt the same way about you guys last year. We were like, well, there's this big thing called Guerrilla Collective. I don't know much about it, but man, it looks huge.
For sure. What has the response been from developers about, you know, just Wholesome Games and Wholesome Direct?
It's been really positive. I think people are really appreciative anytime, like we try to be really honest that everything is for the games. You know, everything we do is to bring attention to the developers. And I think developers can tell that there's that honesty to it. And then in terms of the Direct, that's when I'm most impressed, because last year no one knew how Wholesome Direct was going to turn out, and we still had developers that we loved pour a lot of time into trailers, and I was like,
so cool.
You know, y'all don't really know how it's going to turn out. They put so much faith that we weren't going to mess it up. And then, you know, this year, I guess there's a little more assurance that we're going to do our best, but there was a lot of faith, and I think that's just a reflection of how excited people are for Wholesome Games in general.
Yeah, congrats on that. I know how it is, flying by the seat of your pants and just trying to make something happen, and happy too. I think what is really interesting is being able to be agile enough to do that as a small, like as a a community, and that's what the Guerrilla Collective is a community of developers and publishers, and we were able to kind of foresee what troubles were going to happen last year during this the lack of E3 and just Voltron it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it kind of leveled the playing field for everybody because there were all these established events, but it's almost like music production, where like it used to be a big studio and now it's just a laptop. It's like, well, if it's just a laptop, we can get our friends together and try to do it on our own, and that's what we did.
That's amazing. You guys, put a piece of vinyl out from the music from the developers who showcased at Wholesome Games and Wholesome Direct, and it seems like you have a mission and really want to make a social impact. There's a charitable factor. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where, to be honest, on one level, we want to produce cool merch and we want the proceeds to go to something important. It's a really good opportunity for us to use Wholesome Games, which we never expected to have any kind of platform to begin with, but now that you do, what are you going to do with it? So with the vinyl, we were able to take all those proceeds to Galaxy Fund, which is a first of its kind grant for women, BIPOC, and LGBT plus led teams in the game industry. They're kind of their own thing, where they're like kind of scrappy like we are and just trying to do what they can to make the world a better place, make the industry a better place. And then today on Wholesome Direct, we partnered with the IRC, which is an organization that responds to the worst humanitarian crises. And and in both cases, it's just like, if you're gonna have this opportunity to reach people and you're gonna be called Wholesome Games at some point, you gotta determine what is wholesome, and we think these things are wholesome.
That is so true. That is pretty awesome that you guys are doing that. For my last question, I like to ask, what advice would you give up-and-coming developers regarding their vision, to develop cozy style games?
I think, the through line for me, really wholesome, cozy, it can all vary, and there's a lot of great resources out there for like specific design elements, and I'm sure people who play these types of games will quickly see like reoccurring themes. But as cheesy as it is for me, like putting your heart into it, like if you make something that really speaks to you, you're not just making, another farming game or whatever it may be, or following trends, just put your heart into it, and when you do that, you're going to come up with innovative ideas, and I think that's one of the beautiful things.
Watching this. 3.
feel the urge to betray your mates. You feel the urge to betray your mates. You feel the urge to betray your mates.
welcome back to Wholesome Direct, a celebration of wholesome games. My name is Jenny Wyndham, and I am joined by my co-hosts Victoria Tran and Derek Fields.
Sit back and relax as we bring you exclusive footage from 75 wholesome games.
And remember, if you see any games you love today, head over to wholesomegames.com to get all the info and find out how you can support the developers.
All right, let's get started.
What channel is that coming on?
So stay tuned for that. Alright guys, see you guys probably about 4 hours at the most.
Rakelet is a mysterious adventure game where you explore a strange town by following trails of light. During your journey, you'll help the residents of this town by using items illuminated by the light to progress